I'll do. I don't always, but I have gotten to the past couple of years, and it's just been awesome, awesome. I have absolutely loved it. So this is me. I'm going to try to move. And this is our precious little preschoolers. So this is my group who I got to teach this year. And I'm sure if you're like me, you know every one of those little kiddos by name, and you know their little quirks and personalities. Let's go ahead and make sure that we're all seated by each other. If we have a bunch of empty chairs, we're not going to do really good. So go ahead. Close to Miss Kim. Some of the day. So you've seen some of this excitement already, so I'm trying to figure out what to do and what not. I love this little coaster. I am not built to sit still. They are certainly not. I am not built to keep my hands to myself or take turns or be patient or stand in line or keep quiet all of the time. I need motion, novelty, adventure, and to engage the world with my whole body. Let me play. Trust me, I'm learning. If you would like these slides and you would like that little poster, I can get them right to you. I'll show you on the last slide how to get them. But easy, just free, just want you to have it. So I love that reminder about our little preschoolers, and I love the fact that we get the opportunity to be one of their first introductions to faith. And one of the things that we know about preschool learners, and I learned this from reading a book named Karen Henley. I probably knew it anyway, but I really liked what she had to say about it. And one of the things is that this particular age group is learning by modeling. When they reach the elementary age, they're learning a lot by story, that early elementary. And then they cycle on from that. But the littlest bitties are learning by modeling. So literally, they are coming into you, and all of their attitudes about music, their attitudes about faith and their church family, they are learning that from you. And by paying very careful attention, does she love that song? I love that song. They will just completely pick up on every attitude that you bring to their class. So much of it is just about the countenance and the joy that you reflect to them. When you manage to welcome every child into your class and make them feel special and valued, they learn that church is a place where I feel special and valued. And so is my children's choir. So a lot of the early lessons that they're getting about who Jesus is, they're getting by that relationship with us and who we are. So very sweet. This is the Motley Crew. This is them. And I love this because one of the things that my church just consistently does, because somebody made these robes for us about 10,000 years ago, and they have these giant bows on them. And every single time these babies sing, we have to use the robes because somebody made those. I have no idea who at this point, but somebody might get their feelings hurt. So
they're probably dead.
Yeah, I know, right?
The bows are.
I know. And one of my little ones, she showed up and she was so excited. There was going to be their opportunity to be worship leaders. And I mean, she had dressed to the nines. She had a big bow, and she was just horrified, even though we had been over it. They were going to wear it. She thought, I didn't want to cover up my dress. And kind of had to, as we all were. So we're going to talk a little bit about mission and class ratios, and I think that this is a good place to start. Why do we teach children's choirs to preschoolers? Why is that a good idea? That's an interesting question, and it's one you should be able to answer very, very well. And I'm not going to tell you what that answer is. I'm going to let you figure out what that answer is. So in groups of 3, we have a nice group of 3 here, a nice group of 3, 3, 3, and 3. Look how wonderful we are. So I want you to take 2 minutes to discuss the why you think preschool choirs are important in your church.
Understanding the connection between song and scripture, because the two do go together so much.
It's like a preparation.
It's really cool too when you see after teaching that preschool group or whatever, the next year, a lot of times, and experiences I've had, they get saved like the next couple of years, because it's like their wheels are starting to turn.
And that's right.
Okay, so let's make sure that we're doing a really good job of capturing what we're saying, and I'm going to try to type. Let's see if I can. Oh, I can. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to try to type these and then press play so that you can see what your answers are. All right? This group I heard engaging in a wonderful conversation, so what can you tell me? What do you think?
We just kind of said that music is universal. Everyone connects to it. It's on some level, even if you're not a musician per se, you connect. And then also, like you said, starting out, it's oftentimes their first encounter with Jesus, with correlating music with the gospel and scripture. And okay, I'm said that.
She's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next group.
Develop a love of music and to introduce them to the worship service and from the beginning, you know, what to expect and how they can, contribute, thank you, the word was not, what they contribute to the worship service.
Okay. Lovely. Next.
It's preparing them for like grown-up choir and like the, I guess like the older kids area, and it's the time period where they're the most susceptible to learning, and so starting them early to know kind of how, create a love for it.
Okay. Did I capture that correctly? Think so? Yours?
We kind of repeated some of
That's okay.
what they said. Like we said first encounter with, scripture by hearing those songs that tell the gospel story, and also said that it's their first time to actively contribute in a worship service as opposed to just being there hearing and taking it all in. They get to be leaders.
Next.
We talked about the foundational aspect of it at that age, that you're laying the foundation both spiritually and musically. And I said that at that age is when they're the least inhibited and most, what did I say? Well, they just love music and movement and everything.
Oh, they do,
Everything
so,
is
right?
so fabulous to them
Yes.
that why not?
They're excited.
Absolutely is, and I'm not going to get the word excitement because, and the reason why is because it's connected right now to the thing, and so everything is maybe I got it. Okay, so they are excited.
Yes.
Tell me that one more time.
They're excited to sing and move, and they're uninhibited as opposed to when they're older.
And they want to be a choir as
Right.
opposed to their mommies and daddies
Making them go to choir.
Yeah.
They're very naive, they're just still very innocent.
It's new.
Yeah.
Everything's new and fun.
Yeah.
Yes, I know, that's so fun too, because you really, if you bring it in and it's reasonably valid, they're gonna love doing it. They're gonna absolutely love it. So what we've just done, which is kind of a cool thing, it'll come up. there we go. Now, how long did we spend on that little exercise? Yeah, that's not long at all. So totally useful for your staff. If you do not already have a mission statement for your choir, it is a totally useful exercise for you not to tell everybody your mission statement. You absolutely don't want to do that. You want to just engage everyone in a conversation about what the mission is and why we do what we do. Because if you take that time, they are going to feel more dialed in to why they do what they do specifically in their class and how it attaches to the whole. So it doesn't have to be fancy, but probably at the end of the day, you guys pick the ones that are the most important to you. You put stars by those, you reword them as necessary, and voila, you have a mission statement for your choir, which you can then put in your on your website, and you can use it to communicate with your parents about why we do what we do. So, just an idea for you. All right, so I'm going to show you this for a specific reason. I want you to notice the space. When I grew up in a very verbal and rather expressive family. We were loud talkers, and we get very excited, and so we talk over one another, and we furthermore usually had every TV in the house and a radio on at the same time. So it was a very, very loud house. And I married someone who is a little bit more on the introverted side. And I furthermore had this great goal as a parent, great goal. And I was going to be the calm parent. I'm going to be the calm parent. I'm going to be that non-screaming parent. I'm going to be so good about that. And so one day I had a classic moment with my sweet daughter where we were having a conversation about something. Oh, I know I'm in trouble now because you're getting that freaky calm voice. And I thought, oh my gosh, there we are. It really does not matter whether I'm yelling because they're sensing where your heart is. They know. So it was just kind of this funny reminder. Kids, are they psychic? Confessions of the Calm Mom. So I was going to talk about some things that I think are really, really important for preschool. And these are just things that you can be thinking about, and then we're going to start getting to some really fun activities. But one of the things I wanted to make sure that I said is that for those of you, and I know that nobody in here goes in there and checks your cell phone during preschool time, but I thought that I would say this anyway because I do know of some, and we have had that problem in our church where, I guess I should be fair and say it's not my church, but it's a church where I've helped before, where they just don't realize what the mission is, and they will be kind of bored, and they'll be checking emails rather than really establishing that one-on-one with the kids. Well, this group needs more one-on-one than any other group. I mean, this is an all-hands-on-deck affair. How many of you have more than 12 kids in your preschool class? Okay. Anybody have more than 15? Anybody have more than 20? So that's a very, very big preschool class. How many workers do you have in there?
I'm the director, and we have 2 or 3 extra.
So you have yourself, and then you have 2 extra adults, and then do you have some youth in there as well?
No.
Yeah. It's kind of an interesting situation with us as well, is we usually try to cap the classes at about 14. And so we have me, we have another grown-up who is the co-director, we have a grown-up accompanist, and then we have another mom who comes because she wants a 4-year-old to go, so that's 4 grown-ups, and we have a youth helper. So we have almost a 2-to-1 ratio, not quite, but almost, and it's really, really ideal. A lot of times what a preschool class needs is just a couple more hands.
How do you cap your class at 14? Do you start a new class or do you learn that?
That's
Do you have
exactly
enough
right.
workers
Now,
for that?
yes, and now I will tell you that we don't often have this problem, because I've said this in another class as well, is that we had this monster group of preschoolers go through, and then all of a sudden we've hit a year where we have only one 3-year-old. I don't know what happens when that 3-year-old, I haven't even grappled with that problem yet. But it really is a lovely thing. But if you start communicating your mission to your church and lose the attitude, my friend Tamara West Bennett says this, and I think that this is a really good one. Lose the idea that you're begging people to help you. Just lose that idea. It's an absolute honor to come and help you. She even interviews. She interviews people. She doesn't hire everybody, especially with the youth. She brings them in for an interview to talk about, you know, whether it's going to be a good idea for them to serve and what the expectations will be. But she makes it like, you know, well, I'm looking for just a few. I have only a few openings, and I would like for you to apply, and this is how to do it. And it's just like an attitude shift. You're not begging people to help you with this. This is probably the best ministry in the church, and is working with children's music. It has the biggest lifetime impact. This is the one. So wear that proudly and go in and say, we are recruiting. And I love this one. This, no cell phones and no distractions. This hour belongs to the kids and to the Lord. So a good thing to remember. Now, you may have seen me do this, but because the wonderful Lily Fire Robin showed this, I want to make sure that you have this for your preschoolers, because it's easy. What was that? Oh, okay. So go ahead and take one of these and pass them around. Now with preschoolers, we're going to use this in a slightly different way than we did with the older kids. But these little guys have a lot of potential if you didn't see us do this the first time. But on this one, I have to be even more careful to make sure that I remember. Now I'm giving you these so that you have this to take home, because this is a pocket warm-up that you can have. So you can put it in your pocket and bring it home and remember that this is a really cool thing. And I want to verbally say again, Lily Fire Robin, if you ever have the chance to take a class of hers, she is absolutely amazing. Okay, so things to think about. You want your early readers to go left to right. So that means me, as the teacher holding this, if I'm going to have this become a sound shape, I have to go. That's exactly right, and I have trouble remembering it. It is a really difficult thing to remember, but it's a good thing to get in the habit. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow this sound shape and realize that with your preschoolers, a lot of it is just getting them to discover their voice for the first time. I mean, I just love how shy they are when they come in with that first time. And they look at you like, oh, you want me to talk? Oh my gosh. They probably talk their heads off, but in the classroom setting, it's very intimidating. So we're going to use this just to discover our voice, and we're going to guess what kind of a sound it might make. And so we're going to start here. Let's try that one more time. And then Mrs. Fire Robin showed us this as well. She said, you know, easiest thing ever, right? I felt so embarrassed to take me, that I never thought of it. So then she'll take it here, and because she wants the kids to discover their head voice and to discover that they have a big range, that it goes way up high and way down low, and here in the middle, she just lifts it up. Well, let's see what it sounds like when we lift it way up here. Woo! Let's see what it sounds like way down here. It's really good. Now I'm going to turn it over and let's see if our sound changed. Ready? Let's see if it changes when Miss Kim makes it like that. Huh. Wonder what it's going to sound like now. Let's try it one more time. Let's try it up here. These kinds of things, they really like this. Now, her suggestion is that you don't let the children make these shapes. Because her suggestion is that what they will do is they will end up giving you this big thing that will be almost impossible for you to follow. So at preschooler, they're having trouble. I'm not sure that I totally agree with that, because I think it can be your early arriver. That once you have done it for about a month and they understand how sound shape works, that with the kids who have come in early, that can be a special privilege. And then I've also found that for the older ones, if that does become the early arriver, then two friends can get up and they can connect those shapes. And then we can see what all of it makes together. What musical skills are we learning? A lot of pre-reading. That's exactly right. What else?
dynamics even.
We could do it for dynamics, we absolutely could do it for dynamics. But then the head voice versus the chest voice, all of that. So they're discovering their voices and they're getting their range. So very, very easy to remember. Okay, so we have all of these that we definitely need to do. I wanted you to have a couple of name games. And my teaching partner made these up, and so I was super proud of her. Although, I just managed to pocket right past it. Oh, we don't want that again. Oh. Goodness, technical difficulties. Well, that's okay. We can repeat that one. Okay, so we've done that. That's good. I'm learning so much about this, you guys. No animations. There we go. So here's a simple name game. This is a really easy one, and I'm going to say at the end that I'm going to give you all of these slides, and also that these sessions are going to be online. So you can go right on and you can look at anything that we've done. So this is super easy, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this and I'm going to pretend it's Mr. Microphone. We had a lot of success using that little toy microphone, like the one that you get at the dollar store. We like that. But one of the things that Dora Ann Purdy always says about preschoolers, and I think this is true, they all need to hear their name said. They all need to hear their name said. Do it multiple times in the class, but at least the one time is really, really important. And this is a really good early way of figuring out, so with especially your youngers, when they come in, this worked very well for us, okay? So what they would do is they would say, my name is, and we would say, Miss Kim. And then we, as a group, we would stand and we would say, pat, pat, clap, clap. Hi, Miss Kim. So very easy and very non-threatening. And ba-da-da-da-da. Just very simple. That's usually the most basic kind of preschool thing. So let's go ahead and let's stand up and let's play that.
My name is Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth.
My name is Brittany.
Hi, Brittany.
My name is Tracy.
Hi, Tracy.
My name is Diana.
Hi, Diana.
My name's Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. Now let me stop it right there and say that you're going to have some that will be very, very intimidating for them. And I will tell you that with our very young preschool class, we played this for a full 6 weeks. And the thing that we forget is we get tired of that game, but they like the repetition. They really, really do. They like it. Once they get it, they're very excited. And it was a true joy to see some of our kids who came in almost locked up. Like they weren't having anything to do with that microphone. So we would have a youth worker walk around with them. That's our sweet Dylan, who's grown up through the choir program. And she would stand by them and she would do that for them and then pass it. And so, but everybody got to hear, hi, and they like that. They're, they have the little smile that comes. So as they got more confident, what we had was we had these little action cards. And I'm not going to go try to find them for you right now, but those had little actions on it. So then we were able to take kind of the same game, and we were able to turn it into action with just a little bit more singing. So let me show you what that looks like. Miss Valerie would take up her little postcards, her little action cards, and she would put one up, okay? And one of them might say, clap, clap. And the way we would go is when she sings her name, we'll go, hold up the card, and we'll go, clap, clap to Miss Kim, clap, clap to Miss Kim. And then the action would change, so they'd have to see the card and then do on the action. So we have a little singing going on. So we'll try that, and I will just tell you what the action is. We'll pretend I'm holding something up. Go ahead.
My name is Misty.
Okay, so the first one is going to be to pat. Pat, pat to Misty, pat, pat to Misty.
I have no voice.
going to tap.
Tap, tap to listen, tap, tap to listen.
And I don't know why I just added Miss to your name. That's just crazy. So we'll pretend that we're just all preschool friends. We'll pick the Miss out. Go ahead.
My name is Morgan.
Morgan, okay? So this one is going to be rock. Ready?
Rock, rock to Morgan. Rock, rock to Morgan. My name is Peggy.
Okay, so Peggy, we're going to march to Miss Peggy.
March, march to Peggy. March, march to Peggy. My name is Joanne.
Okay, so then there's a few funny ones in there, so we're going to flap.
Flap, flap to Joanne. Flap, flap to Joanne. My name's Nikita.
Good. We are going to jump for Nikita.
Jump, jump to Nikita. Jump, jump to Nikita.
Okay, which, in the original,
My name is, yes.
Amy.
Okay, all right, now we are going to wave.
Wave, wave to Amy. Wave, wave to Amy.
My name is Julie.
Okay, what do we want to do for Miss Julie? Oh, good, I like that.
Tap, tap to Julie. Tap, tap to Julie.
Somebody make up a new one. Go ahead.
My name is Heather.
What would we like to do for Miss Heather? Oh, what do we call that?
Blink, blink.
Blink, blink to Heather. Blink, blink to Heather.
Good one. That's a really good one. Yes.
My name's Evelyn.
Evelyn, what do we want to do?
Sway.
Oh, I like sway.
Sway, sway to Heaven. Sway, sway to Heaven.
Evelyn. I said Heather, and I don't know why. Anyway, so that's two little name games that you can tuck into your pocket that are completely easy to play. And for volunteers, you can learn them quickly. You don't need any special skill. But another thing I want you to notice about them that is really, really important is that they're starting to hear their own voices. And in my opinion, and I don't think that my opinion carries the day in any way, but in my opinion, pretty much 80% of everything that you do with preschool should be a cappella. Because it is the only way that they're going to start hearing their voices, hearing their pitches, getting used to that, and getting over that hurdle of kind of being scared. You would agree with me on this?
Yeah.
We've got a lot of programs that are just all, let's stick on a CD, or let's stick on a recording and do that. And it's really not teaching them. So other things with that, like that clap, they're starting to feel the pulse of the
They can
steady
hear it
beat.
better too, and don't you think it gives them some self-confidence?
Mm.
Because they can't always match the tones
A
that they hear on the CT.
100%. So it's beautiful if they can hear themselves. That is totally what you were going for. So here is name game 1. Here is name game 2, and I do have little action flashcards that I can share with you. And here's one of our little precious little ones. And it's just, it honestly is, it's a joy. It is a joy to see them discover their voices. So name games are a really good thing to have. And I wanted to say this, action songs, they are old to you, but to the 3s, they're all brand new. So we keep trying to reinvent the wheel, and we keep trying to find the perfect thing. But the 3-year-olds have never heard these songs before. They are not tired of them, not in the very least. They're going to be completely excited to know most of these songs. So let's work on a couple of these that I think are really cute. And I'm going to, let's do this one. I think this one is such a cute one, and the kids do love it. And the difference between teaching this to preschool and elementary will be nothing but speed. We're going to always go just really, really slow because there's no reason to pace them to the ceiling. We want to kind of keep the lid on. So, deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. Deep and wide, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. introduce the song. That's plenty. You want to change activities with preschoolers about every 5 minutes, so you introduce the song on your first week. When you come back the second week, I might say something like this. All right, I want you to mirror Miss Kim. You're going to be my mirrors, right? So what you see Miss Kim do, and you notice, you listen to my freaky, calm voice that I referred to, what you see Miss Kim do, you are going to do as well. Are we ready? Do you hear how silent this is? For at least 1 minute, it will buy you. It will buy you at least 1 minute. It's a beautiful teaching technique for any age. If you have choreography to teach, teach it that way. Let the kids be your mirrors, because I guarantee it's going to give the breath of fresh air that you needed in a long rehearsal. Teach it that way. But then I might ask the kids, I wonder what song that's going to go with. Oh, I wonder what it
I was gonna say
is.
that somebody probably is gonna interrupt the silence and say,
100%, but that's great. They're making those connections there. That's good. That's a good thing. And so then we will do that. So week 2, we've added the motions to it. Week 3, it's very exciting because I don't know if we can do this, but I've got this advanced thing. I think we might be able to do it. Again, we're going to do the same things over and over and over with preschool. We're going to keep revisiting, but we're going to keep building a little bit on fun things. So this time I'm going to say, all right, everybody, we're not going to say deep. We're just going to say, okay? But we're going to keep the tone. Let's see if you can do that. You're going to do the motion, and you're going to do the note. But you're just going to say, okay? So let's try it. And wide, and wide, there's a fountain flowing and wide, and wide, and wide, there's a fountain flowing and wide. If they got it, and this is your time as a teacher to figure out, did they get that? Did they get that far? If they didn't, if they're struggling, then you're going to do the same thing next week. And you're going to wait until they can get the and why. But once they have that far, you're going to say, don't say deep, don't say wide. We're going to say and ready? We're going to pick up the tempo a little bit. And there's a fountain flowing and there's a fountain flowing and of course your goal is to take all of the words out. You've done that, right? Everybody knows this song? Okay, good job. All right, so there's that one. That one was one of our kids' favorites this year. They also absolutely love 5 Little Monkeys, and oh my gosh, I may have it on here, so if I do and it plays next, we'll know, all right? But that's a really good one. The B-I-B-L-E, of course you have the familiar song, but I also have the letter ones that I did, and this is a cute little thing. I'm trying to see if I can reach them quickly. I don't know if I see my B-I-B-L-E letters, and that's okay. You put just B-I-B-L-E out, okay, and it goes, this is one that we just kind of a ditty that we made up, or maybe I didn't make it up and I heard it somewhere. But the way we do it is, there is a book I love to read, it's called the Holy Bible, B-I-B-L-E, 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 I love to read my Bible. And then we would take away the B by turning it over and say, we're going to clap on the B this time. There is a book I love to read, it's called the Holy Bible. I-B-L-E, 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 I love to read my Bible. And you can tell why I choose those words as well, because if the kids are learning by modeling, I thought I love to read my Bible would be a great little lyric to kind of put in their heads and their hearts, so there we have it. So again, that's just bingo, but another thing that you can do for all of your different learning styles is you can go, okay, I'm gonna turn, I wonder how many times I'm going to clap that time. 1, 2, and then turn it up. 1, 2, 3, and some of your kids will be jumping ahead and they will be getting that, but those are great things. It's just showing you their particular learning style. Okay, if this plays Five Little Monkeys next, I'm going to say that this is a song that I actually would use as a brain break and an energizer. Let's see. This is from the Go Fish guys, and I might read them Five Little Monkeys first, but then we would do this, and let's see. Oh, all of my music has disappeared. Okay, so let me show you this one, and I don't understand why, because it will play with this. So let me get Little Monkeys. Okay, so this is a good one that you would not want to do in the middle of your class, but it's a great one to have in your pocket if you've never heard it, because it's really funny. So you're going to need to put your little guys down, your writing tools down, and you're going to want to dance to this one. This is something that you might save till the end.
5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. 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 Look at them jump, look at them jump, look at the monkeys jump. Look at them jump, look at them jump, look at the monkeys jump. You know they do. Look at them jump, look at them jump, look at the monkeys jump. Look at them jump, look at them jump, look at the jump, look at the monkeys jump. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. 4 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Here we go. Look at them jump, look at them jump, look at the monkeys jump. Yeah, look at them jump, look at them jump, look at them jump, look at the monkeys jump. You know they do. Look at them jump, look at them jump, look at the monkeys jump. Look at them jump, look at them jump, look at the monkeys jump on the bed. 3 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said,
That is a $1 resource. It's on iTunes for $1, and you too can own it. But it's really sweet, but there's some things to think about. Go ahead and clap to that steady beat and jump to that steady beat and those kinds of things while they're doing it. But they love that, and they love the like the guy goes so low. So very, very cute. All right, let's see. I'm bringing this back up. And press play. So I have these little animal rhythm flashcards. And they are back here. And I had somebody help me cut them, and that was very sweet. So let me show you this. This is kind of this cool thing that you can know about. I have it up here. If you already don't know about insulation foam board that has a little pink panther on the back, this is set design, this is mobile bulletin boards, and they're super lightweight. They won't hurt anybody. So you can decorate these, and you can make them anything that you would like to make them. We paint them like crazy for our set design. But another thing that you can do is, somewhere I had, you can put little notches and take your string, and you can make yourself just little music measures, things like that. There's all kinds of things that you can do. So just a little handy idea. And I'm just going to spread these out right now. These were very successful for us, and we used them for several weeks. And what we would do with the first time that we went through them, can you help me put these
Sure,
out?
absolutely.
have you help me too. Do you mind? You go ahead. Yeah.
Just any way.
No,
or-
yeah, they're definitely in order. No, hold on, just one
Oh,
second.
I'm so sorry.
They are absolutely in order. So
Okay,
bird,
okay, I'm sorry,
bird. No, don't worry.
but just before.
You got it. So you can tell what I'm going for here is that I'm getting the idea of that four measure on these that they look at.
Is that right? Or is that right?
Yes, you got it. Okay, and that probably is okay, go ahead and put that, that's okay. Go ahead.
You want me to finish?
Yeah. That looks so good, thank you. So this is what we worked up to, but of course, we didn't do all of these at the first time. All we did with them the first time is we just said the animal names. So I would say, I wonder if you can read these with me. Let's try them. Monkey, cat, monkey, cat, monkey, monkey, cat, cat. And that will be plenty for that first day. So what I want you to know is that these are rhyming. The second day when we came back, we had all four, so we had a more complicated board that they could then follow. Ready? Monkey, cat, monkey, cat, monkey, monkey, cat, cat. Bird, bird, bat, bat, bird, bird, cat, cat. So you can hear that there's a lot of early reading skills that are going on here because the little N's are rhymes, so that's kind of a cool thing. So you can put these four in place so you preserve your rhymes, but otherwise they get to mix them up as part of their earlier writers or as part of your thing. They get to decide what order they want, just these have to stay. So that's a neat thing. And I might also do things with this first little grouping. I might say, when I say monkey, it seems like I say two things, like two syllables. But when I say cat, I only say one. Who can tell me what else on here only has one syllable? I say one thing. That's right, bat is another one. And so you let them talk about it. And then if you want to get really tricky and you have the older ones, you can even have flashcards that have the quarter note on there, and they can start putting those on so that they at least start getting the idea and seeing the quarter note with it. So then you just keep on adding to it every single time that you revisit it. Let's read the rest of it. Butterfly, 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 goose. Butterfly, 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 moose. And everybody has to make a moose. When you do it, do a moose and make it a big thing. All right, so let's read the rest of it. Monkey, elephant, monkey, goose. Monkey, elephant, monkey, moose. That's good. See, so you have this whole thing that they've done. Then you can take this to the next level by introducing, let's introduce actually claps first. Okay, so let's clap through our rhythm board. This time we're not going to say the names of the animals. This time we're going to see if we can clap them. Can we start here? Ready? So kind of a neat little thing. But again, you work up to this. You don't introduce all of this at the same time. And I want to make sure that I say that because when I was young and super excited, I did. I wanted to bring in the whole thing. Oh, let's do this thing. And it came as a big shock to me that everybody just didn't pop on right away or if there was frustration. We have to be really, really careful about that.
One question, would you say the idea of introducing the notes, the quarter notes, is that too advanced for, say, 5-year-old choir? Like
I don't
starting
think so
kindergarten?
at all.
Okay.
I don't think so. Because don't you feel like if I show them that here's one note for a quarter note, don't you feel like it's like, well, how many notes do you see on this one? I see two. I wonder where that goes. I think that they can figure that out. I do think getting to butterfly and elephant might be a little bit too much to try to notate.
Right.
Now, if you're doing it with the rhythm language, it might not be. But trying to notate it, that's probably too much. But just the idea that a beat can be either one beat or it can be divided into two, I think that they can get that with no problem whatsoever. Ours did. So we did use those. And so the file that I can send you, if you would like it, can I have some volunteers to kind of move this out of the way? Exactly. Thank you. So the idea behind that is just, this is a cute little activity. Let me show you another precious little song that kind of goes along with our animal theme, since that's where we are. So this is from my friend Barbara Wood, and she has taught preschool for years and years and years, and this is her favorite one. If you don't have this one, I just don't, you have it. Do you have it?
If it's the one I'm thinking of.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, there's a few elephant songs.
Okay, so this one's called Elephants Have Wrinkles, and it's from Action Songs, and let me see if this will play or if this also has a similar problem. I think what's happened is when I had to, oh dear, let's see. When I had to move things from one to the other, the music didn't necessarily transfer. It did on the first line beautifully, but on this one I'm having to go between the two. All right, here it is. I have to stand up.
Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles, wrinkles. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles everywhere. On their toes, no one knows, why. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles, wrinkles. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles everywhere. On their knees, on their toes, no one knows, why. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles, wrinkles. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles everywhere. On their hips, on their knees, on their toes, no one knows, why. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles, wrinkles. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles everywhere. On their ears, on their hips, on their knees, on their toes, no one knows, why.
Go ahead, stand up your elephant. Notice I'm getting a lot of
Wrinkles
cross
everywhere. On the trunk, on their ears, on their hips, on their knees, on their toes, no one knows, why. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles, wrinkles. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles everywhere. On the teeth, on their teeth. That's ridiculous. On the trunk, on their ears, on their hips, on their knees, on their toes, no one knows, why. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles, wrinkles. Elephants have wrinkles, wrinkles everywhere.
Good job. I love that song. Again, guess what? It cost $1. I have given you something that only cost $1. It's a good one.
I let my kids, when it gets to the one part where we did the stomping, I actually have a music group, so that's the one part where they get to move around the room and pretend like they're elephants. And they have to come back to their spots when they
And I've got to tell you that Lily Fire Robin would love that. She would be so all about it. She loves that idea of them being able to explore the space.
And then I let them make an elephant noise at the very end of the whole song.
Have you seen, oh, how cute is that? Write that down. That's the cutest. I'm going to add that to the slides. Next time I teach us, totally teach them that. That's funny. I love that.
And even, I teach a class of 2-year-olds music, and they love that song too.
Oh my gosh,
Little
it's
baby.
the best.
Because it's just, they're just echoing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
The
potty
head
parts.
shoulder.
That is what's the magic about that particular song. They don't have to know the whole thing. She says it and then they back it up. And also, did you notice it's in that nice high register, even though it kind of goes up and down? It's kind of giving them just discover their head voice too as they learn to sing along with it. So
That's
really,
so
really
rare on recorded stuff that
It
you
is.
find on YouTube and stuff.
Yes, yes it
Sometimes that
is.
can be really
totally is rare. Okay, so.
And it wasn't the song I was thinking of, that, I have that picture, when we have, free play for the kids to move around the room, we're doing elephants, and I have, Henry Mancini's Baby Elephant.
How
moved to
cute
that.
is that? That, I would love having them move. So you can have all kinds of theme days. And have you seen on Pinterest, which, you know, if you don't already get on the Pinterest, I spend a million years trying to find just silliness. There is some silliness where you can make like an elephant mask, but you use the little party blowers. You know, so that the elephant trunk really unfurls. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen. So, so we've already talked about Mirror Me, so you don't need to know that one. Let's go on. Okay, so these are more things that, again, these are old to you, but super, super important, and these little finger plays that you do. Is anyone unfamiliar with any of these? You know all of them? Okay, this is a cute one.
You probably know it and you just don't recognize it.
Okay, it goes. I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right, happy all the time. I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right, happy all the time. Since Jesus Christ came in and cleansed my heart from sin, I'm in, right out, right up, right down, right, happy all the time. This is another really good example of, you want the kids singing a cappella or just with super minimal accompaniment. Let them get used to really hearing those voices. Very good. Okay. That's one of my favorites to do with them. So these are some things that I have found that have been very helpful to me. The We Sing Bible songs, I love them. The action Bible songs and action gospel songs. So let me show you a new one. This is in Choristers Guild. And this is something that Lily Fire Robin was saying as well. And if you don't even know who that is, I mean, she's just like the premier educator for preschool. And
Is
they
she
are
John's
amazing.
wife, or?
She is John's wife, and that is their
Amazing
mission.
conference
I,
sessions.
I've only heard of John.
Just incredible. So this is this very, very sweet little thing, and it's in a collection that is at Choristers Guild right now. I think it's I think it will come up. I'm just afraid to tap again because it'll go forward. But I think you're going to see the book title in just a minute. But this is how this goes. It's an echo song, and I'm going to hold that first note, the last note of it, while you guys echo. Come see the baby. Come see the baby. Come see the baby. Angel said. Come see the baby. Come see the baby. In his little manger bed. Come see the baby. Come see the baby. See his star up in the sky. Come see the baby. Come see the baby. Tiptoe in, don't make him cry. So really, the only echo is I hold the first one, and then you guys come in. But you can already tell, it's really kind of lovely, is that they're experiencing two-part, even though they're not doing it yet. They're getting the early experience of it. If you have fives, there's no reason at all that this side of the room cannot hold that note while they echo. So let's try it. Come see the baby. Come see the baby. Now all of us. Come see the baby, angel said. Now you. Come see the baby. Come see the baby in his little manger bed. So really sweet little song. If you're looking for something, that whole book is full of sweetness just like this. It's a really good one, and it's not an expensive resource at all. I think they only had 2 when I last looked, but it would be a good one to go and snatch. Oh, there it is. It's called Songs for Small Singers, Book 1. Sue Hawkins Ducats. So they had 2 left, but they'll send it to you. Okay, so I need to know exactly how long we have left.
About 4 minutes.
How many?
4.
No. Okay, so I would have read the story of the Good Shepherd, which I have the sweetest little storybook ever. And I think it's really important that they hear some of the stories when they sing a song. But let me show you an adaptation of a game that you're going to be familiar with, and you're going to help me, and you're just gonna pretend right now. We're gonna pretend that this is a sheep. This is not a sheep, but we're gonna pretend it is. We're gonna pretend it's a little tiny sheep. I have this cute little finger puppet of a shepherd and a cute little finger puppet of a sheep. But they are back at my home church because the preschool room was locked up and nobody could find the key. And I thought, well, I don't know what happens when, what happens if there's an emergency, but they couldn't find it, so I didn't get to have those. So we'll pretend that this is a sheep. So this is a very simple little game that's just an adaptation, and I'm going to tell you that I got the idea for it by a Choristers Guild email that comes to members every week. It says, use this in your rehearsal tonight. Thank us later. Okay? So normally it goes like this. Doggy, doggy, where's your bone? Somebody stole it from my home. Who stole my bone? And then the kid turns and okay. So I thought, well, how do we adapt that to the church choir setting? I'm going to tell you that this is endlessly entertaining. This just does not stop being entertaining with these babies. It goes, shepherd, shepherd, where's your sheep? In the pasture fast asleep. Let's try that. Shepherd, shepherd, where's your sheep? In the pasture fast asleep. He might sleep the whole day long till he hears the shepherd's song. He might sleep the whole day long till he hears the shepherd's song. Now, somebody is going to be the shepherd. The person who gets to be the sheep is going to be the person who gets to be the next shepherd. That's always how the next person gets a turn, all right? So you are going to be my first shepherd, all right? What I'm going to have you do is you're going to stand up and you are going to turn your back. We don't need blindfolds or anything like that, but you could have a youth worker stand with her and make sure that she closes her eyes. And then Miss Kim walks around and goes, who is going to be the sheep? And then we all hide our hands behind us. And we all hide, okay? So, now what we're going to do is we're going to turn her back around. We're all going to sing it together, and then we'll show you, okay? Your job is going to be to say, sheep, will you follow? And then, if you are the person who is the sheep, your job, when her back is turned, is to go, yes, I will follow. And then you get to turn around and have 3 guesses. All right? Ready? We can turn around this way at first, sorry. Shepherd, shepherd, where's your sheep? In the pasture fast asleep. He might sleep the whole day long till he hears the shepherd's song. And you can sing it this way, but then you have to turn it. Sheep, will you? Ready? Sheep, will you follow? Sheep, will you follow? Yes, I will follow.
That's just there.
Good, because that's what the kids are doing too. They're learning to identify where these sounds come from. That's exactly right.
Is that you?
Okay, good. Good guess though.
Is that you?
Saying you would have to show her your hands. You show, oh,
Okay.
no, nothing in those hands.
Is that you?
Yay! You found her. Now here's the neat thing. It's like, yay, you found her. If we didn't find her, then it's like, yay, you got the mystery. It's just the yay, anything. It's not competitive or whatever, but now it's your time to be the shepherd. Okay, ready? Yeah. We'll let one last person be. Okay. So you want to turn your back for me? Turn your back. Okay. All right, let's turn around. Does everybody hide their hands? Hide your hands. Ready? Shepherd, shepherd, where's your sheep? In the pasture fast asleep. He might sleep the whole day long till he hears the shepherd's song. Sheep, will you follow? Yes, I will follow. Oh, good, good. So I will tell you that somebody I think it was me, actually, I'll give myself credit, somebody had the bright idea they could sing one song in the Christmas musical, and they did just fine, and then they had to be entertained for the rest, and this game probably lasted 30 minutes, and they never got tired of it. They're just very excited about, oh, it was you, and they all love having a turn. So a cute little game to tuck in your pocket. I have one more that's just a precious little game, and I'm going to teach that in the last session today. I think I'm gonna do probably 2 preschool things on that, so that you can have that tucked in your pocket. That's all that I have for you today. I probably have more resources to share, but that's, I think, gonna have to suffice for our time. Let's see. Okay, so this Hallelujah is what we will definitely do. Oh, I'm dying that we haven't been able to do this one time.